Christy, why is it that you being a top producer over at KW, you decided to make the change over to eXp?
Chris, that's a great question. So I was not thinking about it. I saw the producer moving to eXp and I was, what is happening? So I start making calls. I call people that I know that is the producer. And when one of them told me, Chris Camacho moved here, I said, Chris moved there. Oh, but it's something good. So I start finding out more. It's not only doing what we love, a lot of benefits for the clients, which I always love it. It was adding up stuff that it was like, okay, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Why not? And I'm here and I love it.
Christy, you had mentioned that you had asked one of the phone calls that you made, you had asked, as far as to what their opinion was on upline, right? And what feedback were you getting with regards to, actually upline? And for those who aren't familiar with eXp and, for example, the model of KW, someone brings you into the business, there's some type of slight compensation that comes there, and then you have their sponsor's sponsor. Correct?
Yes.
So continue on. I was just thought I'd fill in those who aren't familiar with these programs.
That is really interesting because, for example, the one that brought me to KW, that was an option and I never heard anything. But the big difference is the support that you have from the one that brings you an upline all the way up. As a lot of support and at no cost. It just gives you support. And it's good. They help you, support you really great. And yes, it is important who's the upline because I hear another one doesn't have that support, this one. So I found a lot of stuff about the upline. And that's what I decided to join you because you have a lot of support and I admire you. So that's why I follow you.
I appreciate you saying that. And what I think that's important about upline is, for example, when I was with KW, Keller Williams, when I was with KW, I obviously knew who my sponsor was. That was the person who presented me the opportunity.
Right.
But as far as to seeing who your sponsor's sponsor was,
right.
After the first person, I had no idea who that was, right? So somebody who's, let's say, 2 or 3, let's say tiers above, for example, you have no idea who these people are. And they've never reached out the time that I was with that outfit. They never reached out and said, hey, Chris, how can I support you? Even though they're benefiting from my production and those that I bring into the organization, their production. I never heard that phone call. And with eXp, that's the world of a difference is who brings you into the upline, who brings you into their basically their downline, right? So in my upline, he was an agent, Aaron Novello. He was closing between 150 to 200 transactions. His sponsor is Jose Luis Morales, that he's grossing in commissions over $2 million, has 58 units. He's 38 years old, right? 58 doors. So he's doing extremely well. His sponsor is Lars from the Real Estate B School, who he's known for scaling, right? He was grossing $2.5 million in commissions, working just 57 or 58 days per year, right? And the upline just goes on and on. Everybody who's in our upline, the amount of benefit value that we have from it is just unbelievable, right? So I definitely see why you saw the value in the upline, even though somebody mentioned the upline wasn't that big of a deal.
Yes, so that's what I have. So that's when I start finding out and I start making a few calls, a few interviews. A lot of people, I did start making calls, interviews. Some people said it's important. Some people, they said no. When I hear it is important, I start finding out why. And then I start qualifying. And when I saw what you have on the upline, and really after I join you, I have a lot of support and a lot of stuff to learn, and a lot of lead follow-up. It's amazing. And I'm just, is waiting to explode because this is going to explode really good.
I'm looking forward to assisting you with that process as far as to the growth. So the upline is one. What's maybe something else that, as far as to a benefit, you had mentioned, we spoke about upline. Now there's revenue share, right? So what are your thoughts on the revenue share?
Well, that's interesting because just if I have somebody that, they bring over, because I always have done it, because always people follow you, right? Because the way that you work, all that stuff, but you never think about getting benefits really, But in this case, I see that you get a benefit, but really you get a benefit because in another one, you get the benefits of $1 And here you really see the benefit when you bring somebody over. It's a big difference. And when they explained it to me, it was white and black. When they explain it really well, it's not the same when you get the benefits, somebody in the front, when they pay you after expenses, than paying you before the expenses, something like that. Can you explain it better for me?
Correct. So the way that it basically works is the models are eXp has revenue share. Revenue share, basically they're sharing in the revenues, right? Where KW's model is its profit share. So the expenses in the expenses in an office have to be paid first. And then whatever monies are left over, that's what's split with the agents. Correct. So the average KW office could have expenses anywhere from $40,000 to $70,000. Then whatever funds are remaining, that's what is split with the agents, right? So there's a huge difference because eXp doesn't have any physical offices, so there are more revenues to share with the agents. So, and when you mentioned there's a huge difference. And bringing over agents, anybody who you bring into your organization in eXp, they have this same benefit too, right? So anyone who Christy brings into the organization, they have all of the benefits of the upline that I have, right? That she has, right? And what I'm seeing nowadays is that a lot of agents want to make the move over to eXp, but they're basically upline shopping, right? They're shopping for which group am I going to join? They want to see where they can get the most value, who has the best value stack. I know that's what's that?
That's what I did at the end. I made the decision to join eXp, but then I was shopping for, okay, which one? I choose which group because the upline.
Correct.
Yes.
It's a huge factor. And so there's the upline shopping, right? That's definitely the case. Yeah. So as far as capping goes, there are companies out there, the traditional real estate brokerage model, you're not allowed to cap. What is capping for those who don't know? Capping means that once the company that you work for, once they have a certain amount of company dollars, that they've reached that amount, then from that point forward, you basically keep 100% of the commissions, right? So the traditional real estate brokerage model, you never get to 100%, right? Yeah. So these models, once the company dollar for eXp reaches $16,000, then at that point, from that point moving forward, you keep 100% of the commissions minus some small fees, right? It's minimal fees. But that's one of the huge benefits of an outfit like eXp. So even on the commercial side, right? Commercial real estate, which these transactions are much bigger. If an agent comes over to eXp on the commercial side, they can also benefit from 100% of the commissions after you reach that cap. And this is the fascinating thing. This is the kicker, right? Once you reach that $16,000 cap, if you reach a certain amount of production, there are some details involved. But once you reach those requirements, you can basically keep the $16,000. They give it back to you with stock options, right? With the stock, basically shares. So it's like at the end of the year, you capped with $16,000 and you get back that amount of money in shares, which is just phenomenal since they're a public company.
That is something that I was like, when the video that you shared, this guy, I'm sorry for the name.
Brett Gove.
Okay. When he said, I work with Remax and with KW and I have plaques, I have trophies. And after 16, 20, 30 years there, that's what I have. And I cannot take it to the bank. I cannot take it to Publix. But here I cap and I get, in shares, the money back. I was like, oh, that is really interesting. You are getting everything back that you already pay, that you are so used to pay that, and getting it back in shares. That is awesome. That's another benefit. That's what I was telling you. It keeps adding up. Like I said, it makes sense just to make the move. It's just like it sense to make the move.
It's something that you walk away with, right? Because at the end of the day, let's say that you're with a company, you're with eXp for 5 years or 10 years. Let's say 10 years into it, at $16,000 per year, assuming that the stock doesn't go up 1%, which is extremely unlikely because of the strength of the company. After 10 years, you have $160,000 in shares, right? Which is extremely valuable.
Yeah, that's simple math.
Correct.
So when I saw that math, I'm like, oh, that makes sense,
And you can literally take that to the bank.
Exactly. And take it to the bank and let's go traveling.
Correct. So the perks are definitely revenue share. You have the shares, right, that you can provide, that you can obtain once you reach a certain volume, once you cap. Those are the pluses. There's the upline, and clearly you're seeing the benefits. And as far as to agents that are in this business, Christy, right, that they're looking to grow their business, what pointers, putting brands aside, what pointers would you share with them as far as to what they're going to have to do to survive, not only survive, but excel in this market?
Well, it says success is dressed as a work. And so that's a good thing, that you have a lot of tools that you can work with eXp. And I love it. You have the tools, you have the support, and it's just to make it happen. So
correct. Having the tools are it's definitely huge. And one perk that I provided you with, Christy, which anybody who joins my personal organization, I extend it, is I have a lot of referrals. I have a small telemarketing team, right? And this telemarketing team generates more leads than I can handle. And I refer out these leads. These are seller leads, buyer leads, right? So that's one thing that I offer, because again, it gets to the point of where I cannot service the amount of leads that we get. I mean, I have these callers are making anywhere from 70 to 100 contacts, 70 to 100 conversations per day per caller, right? So the amount of leads that comes in is substantial, right? So that's leads, the ability to pass leads to an agent. I don't know of many teams that can provide, right?
Yes. And that is awesome, because, you have somebody that already has been qualified they want to purchase, they want to sell, and it's just to give them the service. That's it. Yeah. Right, if you want to work, you make it so easy. So yeah, I love the support, honestly.
So most agents, in order to generate business, right, for the most part, you have to make phone calls, right? You either have to make phone calls, which you put your effort involved in those calls, or you have to buy those leads from companies like Zillow that sell you these leads, right? So if you're not buying leads, you have to generate your leads. And with the option that we have set up is we provide the leads. So it's not only you having to look for business. These sellers and buyers that we have found, they have their hand up in the air and they've identified as wanting to sell or buy, right? Which that's extremely valuable. So any other pointers, Christy, any other final thoughts for anybody who's watching this today, as far as to your thoughts on eXp or your thoughts on the real estate business in general?
If you want to grow, you have to make a decision. It's not easy to make a decision, but if you want to grow, if you have everything that you see that you can grow, you're more than welcome to come. Give us a call. You have a question, give us a call. And so you can hear directly from us, from Chris, from me, and you can see it. That's the best thing. You can see it. You can see the production. You can see how he grows, how it grows, and you can grow together. We can grow together.
That is great. So I'll make sure to put in the bottom of the description here, it'll show Christy's handler, where you can reach out to her. Any questions you have locally in the real estate market, you're more than welcome to reach out. Any questions that you have on eXp, you can reach out to her or myself. And we look forward to connecting with you.